299, right? Your batch number is 299 only, right? Yes. Take down heading as working with select dropdowns. Working with select dropdowns. Working with select dropdowns. I need to open the browser and I need to open the URL called krninformatics.com slash sample. krninformatics.com slash sample. See, until now we have worked with the text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, images, all these things. I want to work with the select dropdowns. What are the test cases I can do with the single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown? What are the test cases I can do with the single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown? If I want to work with the single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown, I'm asking manually how we can test these two fields. That is this single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown. In single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown, first select an option or select multiple options. Either I can select one option here, either I can select one option or select multiple options. I can do that. That is one test case. Am I correct, guys? Yes or no? I can select either one option or I can select multiple options. That is one test case. Second, deselect an option. An option. Deselect an option. See, there are three options which got selected. There are three options which got selected. I need to see by default when the page loads, right? Few options will be selected. Few options will be selected. I need to deselect an option. How to deselect an option? That is the second test case. What I'm going to do. Deselect an option. Third, get all available options. Available options. Get all available options. Get all available options. See, imagine that there are four options. There are four options. Imagine that there are four options. I need to get all the four options and I want to print that in the console output. I need to get all the four options. And I want to get all the, that is called get all available options. Fourth, see by default when the page loads, few options will be selected, I said. Few options will be selected, I said. I need to get only the selected options. I need to get only the selected options. How to get all selected options? Options. I need to get all selected options. How to get all the selected options? I need to get only the selected options. That is the fourth test case. First test case, select an option or select multiple options. Deselect an option from multi-select list box. Get all available options. Get all selected options. These are the four test cases what I can do with this single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown. These are the four test cases what I can do with the single select dropdown and multi-select dropdown. See, before working with the select dropdowns, you should know what is meant by index, what is meant by value, and what is meant by visible text. What is meant by index, what is meant by value, and what is meant by visible text. And what is meant by visible text. See, index for Bangalore. First, let us know about what is meant by index. Index for Bangalore is 0. Index for Chennai is 1. Index for Mumbai is 2. Delhi is... See, index starts with 0 based. You cannot see where the index is. You cannot see where the index is. You have to assume yourself. You have to assume yourself. Index for Bangalore is 0, index for Chennai is 1, index for Mumbai is 2, Delhi is 3. This is how each and every option is indexed. Each and every option is indexed. How to index? This is how each and every option is indexed. Index for Bangalore is 0. Index for you cannot see where the index. You have to assume yourself. What is the index for Delhi here? What is the index for Delhi? 3. Okay, that is how. Now, have you understood what is the index for each and every option, everyone? Okay, next. Let us see what is meant by value. Each and every option will have a value also. Right click inspect. Each and every option will have a value. Value for Bangalore is 1. Value for Chennai is 2. Value for Mumbai is 3. Value for Delhi is 4. Each and every option will have a value. Each and every option will have a value. Value is nothing but value of the value attribute of the option tag. Value of the value attribute of the option tag. Value is nothing but value of the value attribute of that particular option. Each and every option will have a value. Value for Bangalore is 1. Value for Chennai is 2. Value for Mumbai is 3. Value for Delhi is 4. Each and every option will have a value. Each and every option will have a value. Value for Delhi is 4. Value for Mumbai is 3. Value, whatever you see here, that is nothing but the value. Have you understood value for each and every option? Yes. Just a hello. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, okay, see, actually, I'm in class. Can I call you after half an hour exactly? Yeah, exactly after half an hour. Can you know your name? Surely I'll call you after half an hour, no? Please. Okay. Now, each and every option will have a value. Value for Bangalore is okay. Value, visible text is nothing but the text which is visible here. Visible text for Bangalore is Bangalore. Visible text for Chennai is Chennai. Visible text for Mumbai is Mumbai. Each and every option will also have visible text. Okay. These are the 4 test cases what we are going to work. Okay. Let's start working with these 4 test cases. Out of this, I'm going to take the first test case. First test case is select an option or select multiple options. In this itself, there are 2 test cases. 1A, select an option. 1A, select an option. 1B, select multiple options. 1A, select an option. 1B, select multiple options. In that case, what I have to do? First, let me take a test case. I need to open the browser, open this URL, and I need to select an option called Mumbai. In this single select drop down, I need to select an option called Mumbai in this single select drop down. How to select an option called Mumbai in this single select drop down? Right click, go to new, go to class, demo, single, select. First, I need to open the browser and URL. Let me open the browser and URL. Yes, I have to open the browser, and this is the URL what I'm going to open. This is that particular URL. Yes, I had to open the browser and URL. Next, I need to select an option called Mumbai in the single select dropdown. What is the index for Mumbai, guys? Index for Mumbai is 2. Very good. Now, first I need to identify this element. If you want to identify any element, right click inspect. I will be able to see the source code. ID equal to city. Driver dot find element. Driver dot find element is used to find the element. Okay. Find element. By dot ID is city, which returns a web element, that is single select. Okay, I have created now single select. The single select dot click, is used to click. If I want to click, if I want to type something, I can go with dot send keys, but either I don't want to click or else I don't want to type. I don't want to do any one of the both. I want to select an option. I want to select an option called Mumbai in that single select dropdown. If you want to perform any select related operations, create an object for select class. Select. Don't go with this jetty.html. Go with the Selenium support.ui. Select dd equal to new. Select. It is asking a web element. That is single select. Then select class has three different methods. Select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. Select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. Select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. Select by index. Select by index. It takes an integer. Since it takes an integer, I'm going to pass 2 here. Select by index. Let me run this. First, open the browser, open the URL. Mumbai. It has selected an option called Mumbai. Understood, everyone? Yes. This is how to select an option. See, in select class, there is a method called select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. I can use any one of the method. I can use any one of the method and I can select an option. Either I can use select by index, select by value, or select by visible text. Select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. I can use any one of the method. These methods are inside the select class. These methods are inside the select class. That's why I need to create object for select class and I can call that method. But when I'm creating object for select class constructor is taking a web element. That's why I have to identify that web element. Identify that web element, create an object for select class, and select class has three different methods: select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. I can use any one of the method. Okay. This is all about how to select an option called Mumbai in this single select dropdown. Hope everyone have understood this, right? Yes. Next, I need to select an option called Delhi by using value. What is the value for Delhi? 4. 4 is the value for Delhi. If I want to select an option called Delhi by using value, can you tell me the code? What is the code to select an option called Delhi by using value? dd dot select by value. See, select by value takes a string. Select by value, it takes a string. Select by value, it takes a string. By value, it takes a string. No, not Bangalore. Value is 4. I have to give value 4. Hmm. Let me run this. First, it will select Mumbai, Delhi. Immediately, it is doing very quickly. If you want to see the execution slowly, then I can use thread dot sleep so that I can see the execution slowly. From this. Open the browser, open the URL, Mumbai, wait for 3 seconds and select Delhi. It's done. And this is all about Mumbai and Delhi. Next, I need to select an option called Chennai by using value. How to select an option called Chennai by using value? How to select an option called Chennai by using value? Yeah, select by not value. Sorry, by using visible text, I need to select an option called Chennai so that I can use dd dot select by visible text. This select by visible text also takes a string. Since it takes a string, I am going to give it as Chennai. That's it, done. Let me run this. What? Where? What's your doubt? Tell me. Yeah. You want to give value here? If you want, you can give it. I'm teaching you all three different ways. If you want to follow only one way, you can follow. It's your choice. Huh. What is the visible? That is why I have taught you these 3 points very clearly at the beginning itself. What is index for each and every option? What is value for each and every option? What is visible text for each and every option? Visible text for Bangalore is Bangalore. Value for Bangalore is 1. Index for Bangalore is 0. That is what I have taught you, right? Sudha, I am asking you only. Then what is the value for Bangalore? What is the visible text for Delhi? Uh, then if you are giving visible text here, and if you give value as 4, is there any visible text called 4 here? Then now it will select. That is what, whatever you are giving, you have to pass that appropriate values. Now, this is how to, this, I hope everyone have understood the first half of select an option point, how to select an option in the single select drop down. Have you understood this, everyone? Yes. Next, let me go to 1B. Select multiple options in the multi-select list box. I need to select multiple options in the multi-select list box. Let's start doing this. Yes, I have opened the browser, open the URL. First, I need to select Mumbai, then I need to select Delhi, then I need to select Chennai. By I need to use index and select Mumbai, so, use the value and select Delhi, use visible text and select Chennai. How to do that? First, driver dot find element by dot identify this element. I want to identify this element. Right click, inspect. This is the source code. I have ID equal to cities. By dot ID equal to cities, which returns a web element. Hold that in a web element variable. Multi select. Then, if I want to create if you want to select some options in the select problem, select DD equal to new select. It takes a web element, that is multi select. DD dot select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. Select by index. I am going to pass. What is the index for Mumbai? What is the index for Mumbai, guys? 2. I am going to use 3 seconds of thread dot sleep. And I am going to select an option called Delhi by using value. What is the value for Delhi? What is the value for Delhi? 4. Since it takes a string, I have to give it in double quotes. Then let me use thread dot sleep, and I am going to select an option called dd dot select by visible text Mumbai. Sorry, Chennai, right? Run this. Open the browser, open the URL Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai. And yes, this is what I did it. If it is multi-select dropdown, it will take care automatically how to select multiple options. Understood, everyone? I hope you guys have understood the first point completely. How to select a single option in the only index. Also, if you want 3 times, you can use it. That's not a problem. Okay. Then you will ask me if I use the same index or can't we use values or can't we use visible text? You all ask that question, right? That's why I have used all three. Then, by the time I reach here, I have selected 3 options. I have selected 3 options. I need to deselect an option. How to do that? That is what we are going to see. I need to deselect an option. How to deselect an option? How to deselect an option? DD dot deselect all. Deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible text, deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect by visible text. Deselect all. Run this. Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai. And it will deselect all. This is all about how to do selections and deselect. If you want to deselect individually, then you can go with deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible text. Okay. However you want, you can use it. That's not a problem. See, this select class will work only if that element starts with select tag. Sometimes some elements looks like select dropdown, but it will not start with select tag. In that case, you cannot use select class. Select class will work only if that element is starting with select tag. Select class will work only if that element is starting with select tag. Okay. Now, let me give you some notes for it. See, working with select dropdowns. To work with select HTML tag element, that is single select combo box or multi-select list box, we need to use select class. On a select HTML tag element, we can do the following. Select an option or select multiple options. Deselect options from multi-select list box. Get all available options. Then get all selected options from from list box. To select an option from single select combo box or to select multiple options from multi-select list box, select class provides three different methods. Select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. Select by index takes an integer argument which is zero based index of the option to be selected. By default, each option tag will have an index starting from 0. Select by value takes a string argument which is value of the attribute of the option tag. Select by visible text takes a string argument which is text of the option tag to select. In multi-select list box, the same method will be used. However, if you write select methods multiple times in the code, it will select multiple options from the list box. Deselecting option from multi-select list box. To deselect all of the options, we can use deselect all. To deselect individual options, we can use deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible text. Yeah. Take down this into your notes. Let's quickly reconnect the meeting once, guys, before that. Then you can take down the notes as well. Let's quickly reconnect.